That slaps, man. Tell you what.
Yeah, I like the background, but who did you say that was again? I keep telling you, I think it's Al Green for some reason.
Yeah, the band is called The Heavy.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
whoever's singing sound like Al Green or Smokey Robinson. I know I probably said that last time.
You sure did. Sure did. Well, it's been a while since you have seen us do really anything.
Yes,
There were some holidays or something that happened. I'm not sure.
yeah,
Uh, yeah,
kind of hard to stick to a schedule with. The schedule itself is flipped up, upside down.
yeah. Well, I mean, I kind of feel like folks should have consulted us before they did the holiday thing, so they didn't like mess with our flow. But no one really sent me any emails about, hey, is it okay if we infringe on your days that you record? And but whatever, I guess. Fine.
The government and the world
Yeah,
itself, the
just
United Nations was supposed to give us an alert.
I mean something like, hey, is it okay? Like, are you guys cool with altering your schedule? But no, they just kind of did that, so that's fine. But yeah, listen, welcome into football here. It's been a while. I know it's a little bit of a weird kind of situation because you would think that with championship week upon us that the content would be free flowing, but like I said, I mean, you think about it, we couldn't record on Monday because last week was still going on.
Yes,
Tuesday was
Monday night.
Christmas Eve. Christmas wasn't happening. Thursday wasn't
Another
happening.
game.
So
Oh,
it
just
just kind of
oh,
happens to be a one-off kind of show that unfortunately is going to miss some content because games already got played. But I mean, well, supposedly played. I wouldn't really say that they were games per se, but there were a lot of men on the field banging into each other, and something happened with them.
yeah.
Um, you saw the games on Christmas. Um,
Dis
that was the essential lump of coal in your stocking. Both games,
disgusting. Both games were
disgusting.
non-competitive. They should have
Right?
flip-flopped the matchups. The
Yeah,
two teams
said
that got
that.
blown out should have played each other, and the two teams that blew out the other two teams should have played each other, and maybe we would have had a better holiday.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it
Uh,
was just bad, and I had no. Um, where was? Oh yeah, I went to the Nutcracker with the wife yesterday, which was beautiful.
yeah,
Um, so I didn't get to catch last night's game. Real quick before we really kind of get into that. So I lost last week. I got blown out pretty much. Had Jalen Hurts. He done got Hurts. Uh, I kind of got game scripted out with who I had going compared to who my opponent had going. So it was just kind of a uphill slog, and got beat pretty bad. Um, Funny enough, the only
and
person I would have beat was actually you, and that was only by a point. So
tells you where my luck is. I mean, fantasy gods. They don't stop shitting on me. It just
yeah,
it keeps going.
and
Like
it just kind of shows you, man. Like I literally scored 100 more points last week. 100. Now both my quarterbacks didn't do much of anything. Obviously, Jalen got out pretty quick, and then Matt Stafford didn't do much at all. Um, their collective points didn't even accumulate to what my lower ended quarterback would have gained from a projection standpoint. So
yeah, their points together didn't even come close to a below average quarterback on an average week. So
yeah,
yeah, it was a bad week.
yeah, yeah, you can't do much with that.
And as I told you before, you still say in this league, you had the best team ever assembled in league history, in my opinion. Starters everywhere. Starters. I'm talking about number one wide receivers, or at worst, number two wide receivers, number one running backs in every position, and your quarterbacks just did.
I mean, should I rattle it off so folks know what we're talking about here? I mean, that
Yeah.
sounds theory,
Like, okay,
but
folks, if you were going into a deep league such
yes,
as ours with this many starters, and as he rambles off these names, tell me you wouldn't feel good about your matchup. Go ahead.
yeah. Now I did drop Jalen Hurts today because he's not going to play, and there's literally no reason to keep him on the roster. But
Yeah, Jalen Hurts, it
uh,
still hurts.
yeah, yeah. Well, I got little quips there as we get into the news section. But Jalen Hurts and Matt Stafford. My wide receivers were Amon St. Brown, Lad McConkey, Devonta Smith, Jalen Reed, Adam Thielen. Ridiculous.
All either number one or number two receiver on their team. Go ahead.
Yes. The running backs are Devon Achane, Rico Dowdle, Brian Robinson Jr.
All number one backs.
Tight end, Kelsey. The flex option at the moment is T. Higgins, James Conner, and Hollywood Brown. And just to let you know what's on the bench right now, Tyrone Tracy, Kendre Miller, Brandon Cooks, Kenneth Gainwell, Chika Okonkwo, and I just picked up whoever just for Jalen. I picked up Josh Palmer. I have no aspirations of playing him. I just kind of just do somebody on there. But yeah.
So your flex spots are number one backs or number one or number two receivers as well. And then Kelsey,
yeah,
he's been up and down all year.
Actually, those were in the flex spots is because they were hurt. I just moved them down there just so I have options to pivot. But yeah, just silly roster, and I don't know how it happened. But congratulations to Bob and Chuck.
Yeah,
they're playing. Playing Tim for the third place spot. Just how it rolls, man. Any league pretty much it really just kind of comes down to getting into the playoffs, right? Like once you're in the playoffs, like basically for the most part, the most of the year is inconsequential. As long as you can keep your head above water and stay in that top 6, you got a shot. It's just like the playoffs in real life. Well, no, that's not really fair because I don't believe that in real life. But in fantasy, it's just.
Why don't you believe it in real life? I mean, there's been six seeds that won it all. I mean, got in last.
It's not common though. It's not common. I just feel like when you have a collection of players opposed to just a team, like a team that's been a team going into like an actual like a 6 seed going against a 1 seed. I don't feel great. It doesn't feel great. In fantasy, it doesn't feel great either, but I don't know. I personally feel it's a lot more of a toss-up.
Well, you're saying that you think fantasy is a little bit more any given Sunday than the actual real life any given Sunday. So
yeah,
I understand from that perspective. I mean, I agree with you there because fantasy, there is no, like you said,
it's not like I'm having to trust the Cincinnati Bengals offensive line to keep Burrow up and keep Chase and keep Higgins and keep.
It's individual players. So
right.
If those individual players, they all individually perform well, just because they're collected on one team, I mean, they can all each go off on their own. Like you said, it doesn't. Like to have Joe Burrow go off, you don't need the whole Cincinnati team to be playing well. You know, I mean, just
like if Burrow
Joe
goes
Burrow
down,
going off.
Chase is done. He is done. Like that you're that's game over for that team in the playoffs. If I have Burrow and Burrow goes down, I'm not like yay, but I'm also I have 12 other spots to kind of pick up slack. But that's just kind of where I'm coming from at with it.
But the playoffs definitely. I mean, fantasy, our championship player Bob.
Yeah, Bob.
He was the very last seed and beat me. Turn around and beat the number 1 seed. I was the 3 seed, so he started with the 3, stepped on the 1, and now he's in the championship game. I mean, once you get in, ain't no telling.
And Bob limped in, man. Bob limped in. He pulled a Steelers. He's limping into the playoffs.
Yep.
You know? So it is what it is. I will tell you before we get into the rest of this here, because we do have stuff we have to catch and we'll get out of here. But you know, the good part is, and similar to you, you had time to decompress and figure your life out and get through the tilt. There is a part of me that, and I'm still in it, obviously, but from the grand scheme of life, you're like, okay, all right. It feels like a bit of a relief because it's like, okay, I don't have to wonder and not like I was really making insane decisions or anything like that, but Sundays is fun and stressful and infuriating, and it's a game, it's a roller coaster thing, and for the people that are super competitive in it like me and you, that's the feelings you go through. Like, I can't really talk to you on Sundays, not because of me, but because of you. If you're having a bad week, I am not approaching you. It's just not. We are amazing friends, but I understand you will ruin this friendship if I approach you. And you know, and I get it, man. It's only $600 to win it. That's not life-changing money, but it's more the competitive thing.
Yeah,
it's that win and that loss.
So many emotions wrapped in it. And
it's like the people that play like Call of Duty online, right? They're all worried about their kill-death ratio thing. Like, that's real big with them. Okay. It's kind of the same thing here. Like, yeah, the money's great, but what I want
that's definitely a plus.
Is another dash near that championship marker. Like, when you look at your stat, you're like, oh, I won a chip again. Cool. All right. Yeah, I did. I was there. I did that.
Yeah.
So,
it's more for the glory, the overall accomplishment of yourself. I mean, the money is a plus. Not saying that I'll turn down any money that comes along with winning a championship, but I am more excited about the championship itself. Like, okay, let's suppose we had 2 fantasy leagues where one the payout was 1,000 and one the payout is 500. If you told me, you know, you're going to win this league that is, you know, you're going to be the champion of a $500 league as opposed to maybe being a runner-up or something in the, you know, $1,000 league, I want the championship league. I don't know. It's not bragging rights, but it is bragging rights. It's like, hey,
well, it makes the whole process feel like it was worth it, right? That whole figuring out your draft, doing the draft, doing waivers, staying up late, you know, all the work that you put into it. It's like, okay, this was the end goal, and I accomplished the end goal. Anything below winning,
I'm the last one standing. No one, when it mattered most, no one was able to beat me, and that's a feat or an accomplishment in itself. That just it's gratifying.
It is. I mean, it's just at the end of the day, it's finishing the job. That's really all it is. Anything below winning is empty feeling. The only consolation is if you do get a kickback financially. That at least softens the blow. That's it. But that's it.
But think about it. All the champions. I mean, maybe we can probably ramble off the names because this league we're only coming up on 5 years. But in most leagues and most teams, no one remembers who the runner-up is.
No,
they only remember who won the championship. They don't remember who was in.
Yeah, you remember if you were the runner-up, but that's about it. No one talks about number 2.
No one says, well, who was he playing in that first championship? Like I said, maybe we can ramble it off if I can remember because we only got a 5-year history. But most leagues, no one remembers the trophy, the belt, or whatever that you use as a symbol
Yeah.
of a champion, it doesn't have the second place person.
Yeah,
Your
we
name is
remember the
never going
first.
on that belt.
We remember the champions in order. So there's that. Like, that's all you need to know. But look, we're not going to talk about the 3 games that happened. They already happened, so whatever came of it came of it. But
We
none of
don't have
them
to
were
talk
really
about it, but I
worthwhile.
will just glance over the people that had fantasy players in that league in those
Okay.
games. Anybody that started George Pickens, you're upset. Anybody that started for some silly ass reason Russell
Najee.
Wilson or
Oh,
Najee,
yeah. Well,
you're upset.
yeah.
Jalen Warren had an okay game.
Yeah.
And that's it.
You're not starting him in
Anybody that
championship
started
week.
Mahomes or Kelsey, you were
Yeah.
rewarded. Who else had a great game? Xavier Worthy had a great game.
He did.
And that's about it from that game. From the other game,
I
anybody that started Lamar,
I mean,
you had a
Hop
good
was a
game.
disappointment.
Oh yes, you're upset
Hop was a
because most
disappointment.
people would have tried to hop out there, especially in our league. So yeah, you were
I
upset.
played Hollywood in the flex, and he got pretty much what he was supposed to, and I'm not
Serviceable amount of points. Yeah,
I'm not opposed to it. I mean, wouldn't have done that in a regular league, but in this one, I'm like, okay, cool. Hey,
yeah. And we stated before on this pod, like in our league, as deep as it is, any player, especially in the flex spot, that gets double-digit points, 10 points or above, you've done your job. And Hollywood
yeah.
did his job.
I mean, barely. He had 10.10, but yeah, I mean, and the only reason is because he was getting looks, and it's like, okay, I feel okay with trotting you out here. He almost like usurped, Hop a little bit,
So
but
that just pretty much kind of explains that the Chiefs, they're ready to really
yeah,
to run at this third one again. I mean, they are loaded up. And all
yeah.
their pieces are starting to get healthy. So it's like
The rest of the
Chiefs
league
are
is
going to
like,
be a
God
tough.
damn it, really again? It's like, I don't know.
Chiefs are going to be a tough out for sure. But that other game, the Texans
Yeah,
and the Ravens, when they started Stroud, you're pissed. You should have learned by now not to be starting
yeah.
Stroud.
At this point, yeah,
If you Nico Collins owners pissed.
yeah.
Joe Mixon owners
No Mixon, yeah,
pissed. Um, anyone had Lamar happy. Anyone that had
yeah,
Andrews happy. Yes, Jay Flowers, he shit the bed on this one.
yeah. Henry,
No receiver really. Yeah, if you had Henry, you are happy. Um,
yeah.
no Ravens receiver really got off. But if you had Lamar or Henry or even Andrews did get a touchdown.
Yeah.
You're happy. Um,
Yeah.
Seattle and what was it? Seattle and the Bears.
Chicago, yeah.
There was no. If you had anybody from Seattle, if you had Metcalf, pissed. You had Geno Smith, pissed. You had Charbonnet, pissed. If you had JSN, pissed. Uh, the Bears, maybe DJ Moore had an okay serviceable game, but if you had Swift, pissed. If you had Caleb Williams, pissed. If you had Romo Dunze or Keenan Allen, pissed. I mean, those games were absolute dog shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
They really were. But hopefully
Yeah.
we
I
get
mean,
some good ones coming up tomorrow and Sunday and Monday.
well, apparently it's supposed to be all weather all day and throughout the league here. So it's going to be rough. But from a news standpoint, here's what we got here. A few important things. This is just fun to mention. There is a way to get a bridge to a Super Bowl. So, Teddy Bridgewater, come out of retirement, going to Detroit. That's just fun.
Yeah. Somehow he
It's
won
fun.
his high school water and got
Yeah,
inspired
I
to.
saw that. It's like, okay, that's a cool story.
Yep.
So no more CeeDee Lamb. Apparently he's out for the season now.
With an injury. No, these are
Yeah,
people that are
weeks
packing it
back.
in, and
Mhm.
we talked about
Yeah.
getting your manicure and your pedicure, getting your vacation, getting your vacation
Mhm.
started early, and that's
Yeah.
CD Lamb. And
And
I feel
I
like
mean, we all know he's hurt. I mean, this is probably more actually akin to the team actually protecting their asset. They would rather him stop re-injuring yourself and just get healthy. We're not going anywhere, and we would like for
anywhere.
you to not go anywhere. So let's just not have you get hurt and call it a day.
Yep.
Um, Kenneth Walker gone, doesn't matter. Game already happened.
Yep.
The Gus bus is coming back out of the garage, so and he's going right back into it. So he was gonna back out, but then he got rear-ended. So Gus bus goodbye. Not
Yep.
really worth playing anyway. So welcome
Yeah.
back, Dobbins. Because he's coming off IR. So
Hmm.
Malik Neighbors, maybe he might play. He named himself a game time decision, which is weird. I don't know where you get your big dick energy from, but that's fine, I guess. Once again, I don't really know what you're going to really put the pads on for. You're not playing for anything at this point. So if you're hurt at this point in the year, you're not chasing any records. You're kind of just go
Maybe he's
just
going. He's looking for 1,000, or do he even already got 1,000, or maybe he's looking for 1,000.
not sure. Well, I'll check that when we get to the stuff there.
Matchups. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just um he can't hurt me anymore. So Jalen Hurts, you are the weakest link. Goodbye. Um,
I know. When I seen you cut him, I was just like, "What?" And I was just like, "It's over. Who cares?"
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And it was kind of like we're
Sirianni
doing a
said it was
keeper league.
pretty
You're gonna be,
doubtful.
yeah.
Sirianni said it was pretty doubtful, and then after like 2-3 hours after that, they came out and they were like, "Yeah, he's not playing." It's like, yeah, okay. I mean, I kind of figured that. So, which kind of makes my Bryce Young pickup a few days ago loom a little bit larger because now I'm not really having to panic pivot. Like if I really wanted to pivot, I could, but knowing that I'm falling back on Bryce Young, it's not like yay, but I'm also it's not the worst fallback option here. But
No.
James Conner looks like he's trending to be in, which is
He said he's
surprising because everyone
going,
thought he was going to be out. So
and there's nothing really there for them to play for it. But they could play spoiler, of course,
they
and
can
try
play
to.
spoiler, and I think Connor really just wants to go a whole season and play a whole season. So I think that might be part of it too, a little bit.
His motivation, yeah.
You know, um, Otten is out. I mean, he's been kind of
Who
out
cares?
for a few months at this point.
Yeah.
Cam is out, which we kind of figured that as well. Once again, not
It's
playing
like
anything.
I don't know why they did that. It's like they already ruled him out and it kind of led you to believe he was going to be gone for the season. And then they
Yeah,
reinstilled a little bit of hope into you again just to pull
I
it from
think
you again. It's like, what are you doing?
if Carr would have, because Carr got labeled out too. I
Yeah. It
feel
seemed like
like
they
if
both, the news came out at
yeah,
the same time about both of them. They were linked
well,
together.
and
Like,
that's kind of my point. I kind of feel like if Carr was going to be able to go, somehow Cam would have been able to go. This might be one of those like, yeah, I'm all set, dude. I'm not playing with Spencer Rattler. Fuck out of here.
yeah.
Um,
I wouldn't waste my time with him either.
yeah. Njoku and Tillman are out for Cleveland, but Jameis is out too. So honestly, who actually cares? That's going to be garbage. So
I can't believe Tillman
that's
got hurt in that Steeler game and been out. I mean, I understand there's been like the long concussions, but 5 weeks? I've never seen a concussion go that long outside of like maybe Tua or something like that. But a
yeah.
simple concussion, 5 straight games? Oh, that had to be a concussion of monsters proportions because I
My
don't recall it being that bad.
only thought about that is they may think he might be like the future there, so they're just being careful because they got rid of. I mean, they got Judy, and that's it. I mean, I don't know.
5-game concussion. That's pretty rare. So I
Yeah.
can say,
Oh no, you're not wrong. I get it,
you know,
but it's also Cleveland. They are just
they're a
silly.
rare breed in their own light.
Yeah. Like you saw the Watson news today, right?
Yeah, somehow he restructuring.
Which basically just
They just
overtly
don't want to
says
cut ties to that dead money. I would just cut ties. I would just eat the cap
you
and
have
just.
to, but well, clearly you don't actually. Um,
They're
yeah, I
probably
mean,
going to
with this,
restructure them into a backup number rate. That way, they leave themselves open that they don't have to force themselves to start him. I'm assuming.
once again, Cleveland, and apparently, you know, Garrett isn't pleased because he's like, I'm not here for a rebuild, and
Yeah,
it kind of feels a little bit like,
he definitely poked his nose in the front office. He was like, "I'm part of the front office decisions. Like, y'all better be bringing a competitive quarterback in here." I was like,
or re-signing Jameis. I mean, to be honest, man, I don't think the team would be bad with Jameis. I don't.
"Man, man,
But anywho, let's get to some less depressing stuff. So we got Saturday games. We're gonna hammer through these here. Chargers at Patriots. 5.5 for LA and 42.5 over under. With the whole Dobbins news, yeah, I mean, I'd feel starting them up there. I mean, they're still fighting in LA.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah."
um, obviously, my savior is Lad McConkey.
The wee lad McConkey. Yes.
Yes, he is just
So
fantastic. You know what?
crushing it.
He'll hit 1,000 yards this year. He's at
He
960
should.
right now, so he'll definitely hit.
Oh, yeah, he got that one. He got that one
And
in the
look,
first
not
quarter.
for nothing, man. And no, I think this is super under the radar. Herbert has thrown for 3250, only 18 touchdowns, but only 3 picks. This is week 17. Like that's insanely good. Um, so I mean the yardage isn't there necessarily, but I
I
don't
just
know.
see. I mean, we know that Harbaugh comes in, he changes the culture, but he took the ball out of Herbert's hands and told him, "Don't be Superman. Like we're gonna put
Yeah,
pieces around you. We're gonna give you a running game. We're gonna give you a halfway decent defense." Remember, we said he's not a gunner no more. I mean, Harbaugh kind of took that away from him. So, and it's better for him. They got a better record there. Headed to. It seemed like they're on their way to the playoffs. So,
yeah,
otherwise, it would be the same old Chargers where, yeah, Herbo's throwing for 400 yards a game, but then they're losing 38 to 30, and it's like,
yeah.
yeah. So,
But um, it's as much as I've harped on making smarter decisions and being more um, I don't know, I guess strategic or not meticulous, but what is it? Cerebral with your decision making here. It's even more so. It's double with championship week because you did what you had to do to get to this step. Um, if you start a Patriot, I hope to God that you lose your week because you're a big dum dum. So,
yeah, like
um,
we don't have a classic example of that in our championship where the guys starting two of them, not one, but two Patriots receivers. I'm like,
yes,
wow,
big dum dum.
woo, woo.
Um, yeah, that's just bonkers.
Yeah,
That's all I really got there. There's not really much more to really kind of harp on there. Um,
yeah.
Broncos at Bengals. Now, mind you, so far those both look like there's no weather happening there yet.
This is a playoff game. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
playoff game for Denver to remain in it, and it's a
Yeah.
playoff game for Cincinnati to hold on to whatever hopes they got. This is
Right.
going to be. If this somehow turned out to be a shitty game, I don't know how, but to me
Well,
on paper, this looks like a playoff game. Seriously.
Weather is the only thing that's going to affect it. But right now, it says it's going to be 60 degrees, and that is just odd to say at this time of the year in Cincy. But since he's getting 3.5 over under 49.5, so they're expecting some big points here. Um, you know, I saw T. Higgins is questionable again because
Optimistic.
that's great, cool, wonderful. God, that guy frustrates me. I am never, ever, ever again am I drafting this fucking asshole ever. Golly. Just because it's like he's a walking ace bandage. It's like every week. It's like, God damn, what is wrong with you? Like you're like a literal, like you're a hypochondriac that's like willed that like into existence. Like every week there's something else busted with you.
Yeah, he's definitely got a medical problem or injury. It's like most people, they get injured, they may get injured for 2 or 3 weeks, but when they come back, they're good. He's that guy that's injured before the game. He comes into the game, gives you points, gets injured in the game, comes back to the game, then leaves again, and then he's right back. It's the same like looping process every week where you're like, is he gonna play? Is he gonna play? You got to keep waiting till Friday, and that waiting to kick off game time decision, that gets old really quickly.
Yeah,
really
does. It's my first year dealing with him, and I'm like, yeah, this is absolutely terrible. I'm just hard no, never, never, never.
Yeah.
But if he's in there, you have to start him because he is an absolute threat, and that's the unfortunate part. That's why you end up drafting him because it's like, God, he is such a great secondary underneath piece that this does so much. But you're starting the big four in Cincy. That's simply that's that.
Yep.
Definitely starting Sutton.
Sutton.
I would definitely. I'd feel good starting about Bo Nix in this game because Cincy's defense is garbage.
Cincy's defense made the Steelers look like they were, a 30, 40-point machine. So if they can make the Steelers dead zombie offense look good, they can make anybody's offense look.
Yeah. I don't know what other pieces are really worth starting in Denver, but
no, can't trust the three-headed monster in the backfield. Just Sutton. That is it.
Yeah. Next on the list is the late night spoiler game, which could, God damn, it could be a lot of fun. I just hope it is. Cards at Rams, 6.5 going to the Rams, 47.5 over under. So Cards are already out of it. Rams are still in it unless they lose, and then they're not. But with Connor looking to be there, you're definitely going to get Connor in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I don't know. So there's a whole thing with Trey McBride at the end of the last game, basically saying, like, as he was going through the terminal or the whatever, just saying, yeah, this team is fucking sorry. We suck, whatever. Now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was not happy. Now, I don't know if that can kind of equate to him being hyper targeted or completely oafed. So I don't know. That's one of those weird things where I might be looking into it too much, making something out of nothing. But for that to be like a relatively public thing to happen, I don't know. And then for them to be out of it, it's kind of like, well, I don't really need to. You could be a healthy scratch this week for all I care, or we can just do what we've been doing all year and just not get you the ball. Well, I'm sorry, he is getting the ball, but not in like crucial situations. So,
well, not touchdowns.
It's hard to sit him, but I'm just kind of like, I wonder if that'll do anything just with everything that could kind of go along with that. But they also do want to play spoiler, and you can't trust Marvin Harrison because he is a bust.
Official, you put the official stamp on his back, bust.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, he is a disappearing act. He is not what anyone touted him out to be.
Yeah, he was getting
And he's
drafted
not
in the first
improving.
round.
Like, that's the worst part. You're just not improving.
He was going off the board in top 10, top 15. I mean, he was going
Yeah.
off the board first two
Well,
rounds.
I mean,
Every
you think
draft.
about it. I mean, Kyler is Kyler, right? And he still has people still have good vibes about Kyler, and they're like, okay, look, he's gonna get him the ball, and he's kind of the only big name in town right now. So why wouldn't we? We're looking at a guaranteed number one target in Arizona, and no, just no. So
No one knew that Brian Thomas Jr. was going to be probably the. I mean, like, who
yeah,
would you say is the best rookie wide receiver in this class? I mean,
Brian Thomas.
Neighbors is 200. BTJ, yeah, I would,
Yeah, like it's not, and it's not even, it's not close.
yeah.
It's
So,
not close. Would love to see what he actually could look like if he actually had a quarterback and a team around him. But yeah, look, if Connor's in, Connor's in.
Connor's playing. Sure.
McBride, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
with
I
all
couldn't
that
sit
being
McBride.
said, I get it, but it's also you don't want to lose with him on on the bench.
Yeah, no matter what the storyline is, based off of his history alone, and what's going on this year,
yeah.
you can't have him sit on the bench. You have to
Plus,
take that chance.
he's 42 yards away from getting 1,000. He has no touchdowns. Like I know I keep saying it, but they gotta get this dude a touchdown, just at least one. Like it's just he's getting like the Kyle Pitts treatment of 2 years ago. So I don't know. Now on the other side of it,
Start your big
Sherman.
four there.
Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't really want to start Stafford, to be honest.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, it's just he's a little too.
he's volatile. He's very volatile, but
He's
at the same
volatile.
time,
Yeah,
with
yeah,
those receivers,
yeah.
I guess they can't catch touchdowns by themselves. But I mean, there is a world where Puka and Cup get all the yards, and then they get down to the one that hand it off to
Right.
Williams. So yeah, that world
And
can
I think there's
exist.
a pretty big stink on Cup right now too. People are not like, yeah, I can't wait to start him.
Yeah.
But this is not that game to feel that way. It's the Cardinals, so fire him up, fire up
It's the
Puka.
Cardinals, and this is the Rams. Like, put it this way: if the Rams lose this game,
This is their
they don't
playoffs right
have
now.
to.
They're gone. They're done.
No. If they lose this game, then they're tied with Seattle, and then they have to beat Seattle next week to win the division and get in. If they win this game against Arizona, they don't even have to put in effort
I thought they
to
were
play
done.
Seattle. No,
Okay.
they have the upper
Okay.
hand. Like they are the leaders in the what is this? The NFC West. Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're up on Seattle by one game. So if they beat Arizona, then you don't even have to care about the Seattle game. They're in. And it lose, then
So this can be
it makes the
spirited, man.
Seattle game. So it's a playoff game because it's pretty much
Yeah.
if you win, you're
Anytime you're
in.
in
I
that
mean, if you
elimination
lose,
kind of
then
feeling, yeah, you're absolutely like this is there's no
yeah,
tomorrow thing. So could be
yeah,
fun, man. And I think it's good because we're past the holidays now. Now people can get focused back to actually playing football because I really do. I'm kind of a believer that playing. Nobody wants to work on a holiday. You just don't. I don't care what your job is. You don't want to work on a holiday, even though you're playing a game. I don't want to do that. My mind is not on this game right now. So,
yeah.
I think that now that we're past that, we got some potential fireworks to be played with here. So that is Saturday's tilts.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday. So 1 o'clock.
Okay.
We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 o'clock. Okay. So starting off with Jets and Bills. Bills are getting 10 points over under 46.5. AA Ron is going to play through an MCL. Cool, don't really care. But the fact that he's playing allows you to be able to start Devontae and Garrett, and obviously you're going to get Brees in there regardless. But if there was a backup in there, you pretty much have to shut those two boys down. But on the Bills side, realistically, all you can really trust at this point is Josh and Cook. Honestly, I mean,
Cool. Well, a lot of people were worried about this game at first. They said that as soon as the Chiefs blew the hell out of old hometown clowns back here, they were like, well, what do the Bills have to play for? They don't have a chance to get the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
Then another story came out that said, now if the Bills win this game, then they'll secure the number 2 seed in the home game, and then they can rest everybody week 18. So they're going to play. So those of you that were scared Josh Allen might not show up, or they might pull him and all of that because he was shaking his hand and all of that. No, they're going to play. They're going to try to play and secure the number 2 seed. And, that's good for me. Well, not good for me, but, it's good for other, championship players that Josh is going to actually play. So, but yeah, like you said, Josh, Cook, and take your pick. I mean, maybe
I wouldn't. I
Tupac.
wouldn't touch it. In championship week, I'm not touching it. I'm not playing that game. We're talking about Stafford being volatile. I mean, Josh, pretty much. I mean, if we look at the stats here, so Stafford is 35, 73 with 20 and 8. Josh is 35, 49, 26 and 6. So from a yardage standpoint, they're pretty much exactly the same. Obviously, more TDs for Josh. But it's not one of those deals where I'm like, wow, he's been.
I think Josh is probably going to come out and he's going to try to. Not only do they want to secure the second seed, he wants to probably stamp out any MVP rumors. Like he wants to ensure he has it locked.
Establish the run to the nth degree. It's just going to be
because they keep talking about Lamar's creeping back into that MVP conversation. I don't know. If to me it was Saquon and then Josh just did a bunch of stuff and it was Josh and Saquon. Now it's like I think Josh has the edge because they just love giving it to a quarterback.
Well, I think if Saquon gets the record, I think he'll get it.
Oh, if he gets 2,000? Or Eric Dickerson's record, 2,100? I think it's like 2,105 or something like that.
Yeah, I think he. I don't think there's a way that he doesn't get it at that point.
Yeah. If he was to somehow get that, it would be a blasphemy. It would be blasphemous if he somehow did.
Yeah. But it's really about it there. I mean, it's just too volatile of a receiving room.
Yeah.
To really even put that up.
Yeah.
Oof. Okay, Raiders at Saints. Oh, by the way, there's supposed to be rain in that Bills game. So, Raiders at Saints. Vegas is getting 1.5. 37.5 over under. Good God. I think at this point,
breathe. You just said.
I mean, obviously, in other weeks we are gonna maybe delve deeper into it, but at this point, you have to take what is almost guaranteed and what is going to be an actual credible thing over what you could be starting, and you're going to start Brock Bowers, and that is literally it.
Still starts.
And no, I'm not. No, I purposely let him out. Just because I feel like if you could find somebody else's number 2 with a much better quarterback, you're going to get the same production value out of them, if not more.
I doubt a 2-minute championship. teams is out there with
Jacoby
Jacoby
on the roster.
on them
That's fair.
anyway. Yeah, so
Yeah.
you're
So I
you're
purposely let him
not
go
gonna
to his
start
dad.
him out of default because you don't even have him.
Right. In a deeper league, I guess you could play that game, but I still feel like you probably don't have him on the roster. And if he is, he's absolutely on your bench. So,
No Saints at all.
yeah, I'm not even playing that game. I mean, Cam's out. There's literally nothing to be had there. Both these teams are so bad that actually will probably be a fun game. But it's like fun, like Benny Hill fun. So
yeah,
it's not gonna be good.
he
Another
said
game
Benny
that's
Hill.
it's gonna be bad. Another game that's not gonna be good is gonna be Colts at Giants. And Richardson looks like he's banged up. Apparently, Joe Flacco is taking first
Joe
team reps.
Flacco's right there, ready to get dusted off again. So
Yeah. So you got Indy 7.5 over under of 40. 40.5. This is going to be outside in Jersey. Yeah. I mean, look, Jonathan Taylor. I would say that is it. I know Neighbors is a predetermined game time decision on his own accord. I don't like that. I'm not playing that game. You don't have that ability.
Yeah, if I can get away from Neighbors, and if I had them and I can get away from them, yeah, I would, because this quarterback situation is just too dicey. It's just terrible.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sitting Tracy. I don't want to play that game. He hasn't really done anything of any note pretty much since Thanksgiving, I would say. So don't really. I mean, once again, that's more of a deeper play.
Deeper league, yeah.
You know. Oh boy. Good Lord. Cowboys at Eagles. Philly 7.5. 38.5 over under. Yeah, just
Cooper Kenny.
backups.
Kenny Pickett and Cooper Rush.
Good Lord. Start Saquon.
Saquon all day.
I wouldn't start Dowdle. Absolutely not starting. I would not start Dowdle. CD's out. There's going to be a carousel of receivers at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Cooks goes to number 1 or not, but I don't care. I don't want to play that game. I am having to start Dowdle probably. Well, I could probably play around with my roster a little bit, but I would like to get away from Dowdle myself. But in a regular league, no.
Now, when Hurts went down, Pickett
Mhm.
was peppering AJ Brown. So
He was. I strangely enough, I would still feel okay with those receivers, but I just think
Devontae Smith might take a small hit because Kenny just can't
he's been
pass it
taking
like
hits
that.
all year.
Yeah.
My only thing is, I think they are just going to feed Saquon so much because they just want him to get the record.
Yeah.
I think that, not that, and plus, it's Kenny fucking Pickett. Christ almighty.
Yeah.
I just think this dude's going to leave out here with like 50 carries, you know. I just think it is so important for them to get that for him because he's been so unselfish all year that at this point, they can literally afford to be selfish. So that's how I would play it. I mean, that's just kind of, if I'm the owner, the GM, head coach, I'm like, no, we got to do right by dude. We got to do it by right, dude, because look, next week ain't promised. Yada yada yada. We'd prefer if he could just sit down or just come in for a quarter and top off whatever he needs to top off for the record. But if they can handle 3/4 of that bulk, do it. Just do it. It's the Cowboys. They're inept. Cooper Rush is the quarterback. They don't have their number one. They don't even know who their number 2 or 3, who would be now their 1 or 2 by proxy. They don't know who that's going to be. Your run defense is stupid. So Dowdle is going to be big said. So like at this point, it's you were game scripted to game script this guy into this record book. Honestly, that's just my feel on it.
My question for you, okay, in the league
Yes,
I do have Dowdle in, and you said you wouldn't start him for nothing. Ooh.
No.
Whoever of your choices is Dowdle or Rashad White, who's playing second, maybe third to the Bucky.
White. Absolutely
wow.
White.
Over.
Yeah.
Who's the starting back?
Well, because Cincy's run defense is stout. It's like Guinness stout. Like they don't give a
Cincy?
fuck.
Oh, you're talking about the Eagles. Phillies run defense.
Yeah, did I say Cincy?
Yeah.
All right, I may be drinking. It's fine. Don't worry
You
about
said
it.
Cincy. I was like, what?
It's fine. I was just making sure you were paying attention, all right? It's fine. Yeah.
And to catch me off guard.
Yes, this is a test. This is a test. It's fine. Eagles defense is stupid. Like I don't want to play that. I don't want to have to deal with that. And I know Dowdle has been on a heater, and that's great, but that Eagles defense does not care about your feelings or thoughts, and they are. I don't know. I mean, what are your thoughts on it? Like you posed the question. Where's your head at on this?
Well, I mean, I currently, in my, it's not for, it's in the consolation. It doesn't mean anything. It's just that, if I want to win, this is like I got my 3 backs are Dowdle, Tracy, and I got Rashad White and ETN, and I'm not playing ETN. And Rashad White is just like, it's like, okay, Bucky Irvin does everything. And Rashad White gets the cleanups.
Doesn't Jacksonville
play Dowdle sitting there? Jacksonville plays. No. What's the other terrible team in that division? Jacksonville and Tennessee, I think. So.
Ooh. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, gun to my head, I'm going White. But I get it. I understand. I really understand it, though.
I mean, but you do bring up a good point because it's like, okay, now they're going to be playing with Kenny Pickett, and then, the team kind of rallies around when they don't have their starter. So they know that they have less room for error, less mistakes. So, yeah, maybe the defense is going to come out, ready to roll, ready to, play lights out.
Yeah, and
victory.
There's really no universe where I see Philly being down in here. So they're going to be playing catch up. Even though Dowdle does, I mean, Dowdle can break something off on like the screen game and that, but are you willing to hang your championship banner on a maybe? I'm not doing it, man. Can't. My heart can't do it. But your choices suck.
But
they're not fun.
Let's suppose Kenny Pickett throws an interception on his own 20, and they're right there at the goal line, and who's going to pop in and score that touchdown? Well, they might give it to Zeke, but they even had Zeke coming in and steal a touchdown from him.
That is another. Yeah, That's why I'm happy the fantasy year is about done. Just saying. Just saying, boys. Just saying. Good discussion though. Good stuff. Panthers at Bucks. Tampa Bay getting -8, 48.5, and it looks to be at least projected thunderstorms. So there's that.
In Tampa?
Okay. In Tampa, yeah. Look, Baker Mayfield, I feel like is an automatic start for a few reasons. He's just been doing very, very well. And Mike Evans, I think he needs like 148 yards or something like that to get to 1,000. Oh no, it's right there, 182. So over the next 2 games, he's going to get salt and peppered. So do not be surprised that there's a lot of chucking there, but really, you don't really even need to do a lot of chucking, to be honest. Evans will just do some silly things. It's God willing he can stay upright and healthy. You're starting Bucky.
Yeah.
In certain leagues, you're going to start White as well.
I think I am going to start White. Now I think Carolina has like the worst rushing defense.
They do. They have the worst run defense in the league. They are the 32nd best.
He said, "Let me put that a different way."
Yeah, let me put a nice little spin on it. Yeah.
He instead of telling you they got the worst in the league, he was like the 32nd best out of how many teams? 32.
31. They are 32nd out of 31. Yes.
Yeah.
Off the charts, I would say. In certain circles would say that's off the charts. The Panthers, funny enough, they got options, man. They got decent fantasy options. You got Chuba and you got Thielen, right? And
Tampa Bay's defense is not the Tampa Bay defense of old. I mean, they might be stout a little bit against the run if you try to run in the middle, but you can catch them on them edges. As long as you ain't running in the middle into Vita Vea.
Well, it's never been a good idea for like 10 years. It's fine.
Yeah.
Panthers aren't playing for anything here. They're playing for house money. I think they're really just trying to get a good look at Bryce to kind of see if they really want to continue this game, to see if he's bipolar or if he's really just kind of actually turned that corner. I'm starting Bryce. I'm starting Bryce.
Yes.
Not because I'm excited to do it, but because I lost Jalen. And it was probably the best option on the waiver wire. But with that being said, also, I'm not.
You can always chase that Joe Flacco game.
No, I'm all set. But the last time he played football, he looked like he was a 40-year-old playing football, so I'm all good.
Yeah.
All set. But Bryce has upside. He has the running ability. He really is kind of got that mind meld with Thielen again. Would probably help.
He's been running a lot more later. Yeah, he's been running a lot more later. So some extra points there.
Yeah, and Chuba has 1,200 yards, man. 10 tutties.
I did not see that. I just didn't really imagine Chuba to be a workhorse back. I just thought he was a satellite complimentary back.
Boy. Yeah. Well, because he's always been the bridesmaid, man. Like that's kind of the thing and we've seen that so many times where the bridesmaid gets actually married, and it's like, oh God, no, this is why you're the bridesmaid. You're awful. You're the friend in the movie. You're never the lead. What are you doing?
Yeah.
But Chuba really has a skill set where he's a thick boy. He can kind of run you over, but then he can also make you look stupid, and he can also catch the ball. Like that's really all you want out of a running back. Have a skill set. And is he by any means the new C-Mac? No. But I would say he's a valuable, viable back. That he's not going to go in the first round or probably even the second round next year. But one of those players you plug into your lineup and you're like, okay, cool. Like you don't really second guess it. You're not excited about it, but you're also not like, oh God, please don't shit your pants. It's like, okay, cool. I know what I'm going to get from you.
It's like him and what's his name? Chase Brown is kind of from Cincinnati or kind of the same guy.
I don't know, man. I feel like Chase Brown's a lot more exciting, man. I feel
a lot more explosive,
huh? Chase Brown gives me like early Mixon vibes. Like that dude might be a fucking problem. Yeah, I'm not thrilled with him being in division. Just saying, not great.
All right.
Let's see here. Titans at Jags, also thunderstorms in the area. So here's your weather stuff. Tennessee getting a point on the road, 39.5 over under. Mason Rudolph is starting. It's an upgrade for the offense. I can't really lie to you there. You can I would say you can definitely start Ridley at this point. I mean, Jaguars defense is terrible. I mean, both these teams are 3-12. They're both dog shit at this point. They're just gonna play to have fun. I mean, it's just that whatever. Chick Okonkwo, you could definitely start him. He's a safe option in the passing game in the tight end landscape. Do it.
Yeah, Rudolph definitely trusts his tight ends. Yeah.
Yes. Pollard, I don't know what his injury designation is at this point.
It's Pollard Spears. They're both going to kind of get even split. Pollard hasn't practiced all week, so
Yeah.
I think Spears is probably headed for a better share of it. It's just funny how Spears is just all of a sudden this productive back at the end of the year after I let him go and Paul picked him up. But
I
Pollard.
wouldn't touch either one of them at that point. I mean, really, in your championship game, when you really don't know what it is,
it's a toss up. It's definitely a crapshoot.
Yeah, I'd leave it be there. Brian Thomas Jr., Rookie of the Year. Yeah, absolutely, get him in there.
Absolutely, yeah,
100%. That's it though. That's full stop. Nothing else there. Let's see here. All right. Dolphins at we're starting the 4:00 ones here. Dolphins at Browns. It's supposed to have a bunch of rain, so there's that. Miami is 6.5, 37.5 over under. The Dolphins are still kind of in it. They need some help, but they need to take care of business here. They're going against DTR. This should not be this difficult of a situation. You're not going to start Tua because uber disappointment. Oh God, I'm going to say a hot take thing. I'm not starting Hill.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is just a strictly Achane game.
Yeah. And Jonnu. That's it.
Jonnu. Yeah.
That's it. I cannot fathom putting Hill out there against, a decent enough defense with a shaky Tua. Hill, I think he has like 600 less yards than he did last year, something like that.
I'm not sure.
Let's put it this way: he's not the leading receiver in this game. You know who the leading receiver in this game is? Jerry Jeudy.
I don't see that. So, no DTR. Oh, you're talking about already coming in.
Yeah.
I thought you like that's who's going to come out of the game, the leading receiver.
No, I'm not
with no DTR.
Brown. No. The only single Brown that's going to be happening in this game is after the game and someone takes the poops. That's about it. That's the Brown you're going to get.
No, I would start Ford. That's about it.
Yeah, I mean,
that's about it. No Njoku. He already
at that point. I don't know. I saw what the offense looked like with him, and I know the Browns have nothing to play for, and the Dolphins do. So I don't know.
knowing me in that game for the Dolphins. Only thing that scares me in that game for the Dolphins, like you said, is the weather. If it's going to be raining, then maybe not. But if no weather is affecting, I don't feel bad about. Like you said, you don't like Hill or Tua. If it's not raining, I don't feel bad about either one of them. But definitely, like you said, Jonnu's definitely going to eat. Of course, Achane's going to eat. But Waddle, I would definitely stay away.
I'm just looking at something
regardless.
Here. Yeah. What am I looking for here? Hold on. They're playing Sunday.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 60-something degrees around here on Sunday. So you imagine Cleveland and Cincinnati, they're all the same.
Well, God doesn't like Cleveland, so we all know that. Give me a sec here. Getting all these little pop-ups and all that fun stuff. I'm going to see what the actual percentage is for Sunday here. Okay. Breezy and mild with periods of rain. Wind gusts at 28 miles an hour. Probability of precipitation 96%.
96.
Thunderstorms 15%. Yeah. And this is
It's
what
gonna
time is
rain.
this game? Is it this is the
You
4
said this was the
o'clock.
4? Yeah.
Yeah. So
If it's gonna be 96%,
yeah.
then it's gonna
So
rain.
the afternoon it's 70% chance, 24 miles an hour winds. Yeah, it's just it doesn't look great. It's just not give me an air out kind of thing. That's another reason why Hill is off the board for me. I mean, I definitely could see Hill kind of doing something, but I just once again, I'm very particular on how I want to approach championship week, and Browns ain't it, man. I just feel like you have better options out there other than Ford, but also it depends on how big your league is. So there's that obviously that caveat.
Yeah.
I'm like a weatherman in this bitch. Yay. All right, one more 4 o'clock game. The Packers at the Vikings. This should be a
Woo!
fun, yeah. Minnesota 1.5, and 48.5 over under. You're gonna start every goddamn ass that you have in this game.
Anything,
Really,
any piece of anything you have,
yeah,
turn it in. It's like
yeah.
go around your house and pick up all the pieces or find all the change and lay it all on the table. Whatever you got.
You just kind of hope Reed kind of does what Reed needs to do because Reed has not been able to. He has not been able to read for the last few weeks here.
Yeah.
And yet you just don't really know what carousel is going to kind of hit there. I mean, Dobbs is always that option, but it looks like Watson isn't practicing, so he's kind of iffy. And we already know how your feeling is on Dobbs, so yeah. But obviously Jacobs, yum, eat him up, get it.
Yeah.
And every asset for the Vikings there, we've been there, done that. We don't really need to discuss it. I mean, I would say really even oh God, it feels dirty.
This is in Minnesota, right?
Yeah, you could start Darnold. Oh God,
Oh,
it feels like
absolutely. This is a revenge game
but
for Jones too. So I mean, even though they already played
woo,
in the,
yeah, yeah,
even they already played once this year, but yeah, I know he's gonna be
yeah,
quick to show Minnesota like, yeah, y'all got the right one. And Jacobs
yeah,
is gonna be on the other end, like telling Green Bay, yeah, y'all shipped out the right one. I mean, like,
yeah.
so yeah, nice little plots and subplots and twists, and it's
Oh
two
yeah,
good
yeah.
ass teams.
Because I think if the Packers win, then there's like a knockdown drag out for the Vikings next week. I believe that's
Yeah,
what I
because they
heard.
play Detroit next week. Put it this way,
Yeah,
if the,
yeah. Oh
I
God,
think it's like I think if the Packers win and Detroit wins on Monday, then they lock up the seat. But if somehow the Vikings win, and I don't know about Detroit. I don't know. It's one of those things where, put it this way, if the Vikings win, they still got a shot at the number one seat with
right.
Detroit. So I don't know. So the
It
biggest
should be
fans
fun.
of the Packers, the Detroit Lions is probably fans of the Packers right now. They're like, all right, knock
Right,
them off so we can already secure our seed and we ain't got to do anything. And we're going to be playing everybody in that dome. And
right.
I like to see any team walk into that dome and put Detroit to bed. It's not gonna be an easy task.
No.
See it.
The Sunday night game is the Falcons and the Commanders. It is going to once again have rain. Washington 3.5, 46.5 over under.
Oh, so it's in Washington. Yeah,
it is in Washington. Yes, sir.
All right.
Atlanta's playing for their playoff lives, so they're going to be spirited.
Number two overall pick versus number 8. Penix.
Yeah.
Let's get another week of seeing what he's about, because I don't know. It's kind of like jury's still out. I didn't really see too much last week. It's like, okay, they ran and B. John did his thing, and
he didn't look
really
scary.
need to throw it.
But I think that's good, though, because I feel like he did. I mean, he hasn't looked like I'm going to put him in the lineup, but he didn't scare anybody either way. Which, if I'm an owner, I'm like, rookie. Okay, cool. Like, with that being said, Bijan, yeah.
Or with the pass catchers.
That's where I'm at, man. Do you feel comfortable at all in your championship game starting a wideout with a rookie in the rain? But mind you, I'm not doing that, man. I'm not playing that game at all.
Not in the championship week, and definitely don't start Kyle Pitts.
Oh God,
Kyle Pitts, Kyle Pitts is cuttable. He should be cuttable weeks ago.
Cuttable a month ago.
Yeah.
In real life and in fantasy.
Yeah.
Oh shit, man.
That was Penix's own interception. Was Kyle Pitts not being able to catch it and
what a ridiculous pick. That was so fucking silly. Like all I heard was Boomer going like, "Whoop!" That's all I heard. Golly, man.
Like what? Yep.
So bad.
He's a bum and a half.
He really is. Brian Robinson Jr. Look, he had a real bad game last week. But if you're in the championship, there's a big chance. He's probably a big reason because of that. You know. Chase Daniels, yeah, because they're running upside. I know it's going to rain and all that, but you know what?
He said Chase Daniels. Jaden Daniels. He said Chase Daniels. It's that old.
I know. I'm saying Chase Daniels. Look, all I do is chase him. That's it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be probably, like you said, a rainy game, but
yeah,
there's no way you get Jaden Daniels down. Not after last week. Stu dropped like 80 points in our league.
Yeah. You're going to get Terry out there. There's no way you can't. I know it's raining, but it's rain.
Yeah, you start Terry every week, no matter what.
Yeah.
He said it's rain is not as it. Yeah. I definitely think Brian Robinson will bounce back in this one. I don't see him dropping 3 points again. I don't know.
Yeah, 2 fumbles and just kind of got put in the doghouse for about a quarter. So, it is what it is.
And then we're playing the Eagles too. So,
I mean that
defense isn't. Yeah, Falcons defense is not the Eagles. So
no, they're not. The Monday night, December 30th, the game that will determine if you win or lose, potentially, your championship. The Lions at the Niners. 3.5 for Detroit, 50.5.
And there's going to be so many. There's going to be so many people that, like, usually in weeks past, it's been, by the time you get to the Monday night, only a few matchups are decided by the Monday night game. Not here. There's so many Lions and so many 49ers that get started. This Monday night game is really going to have a significant impact on championships.
Be a lot of fucking broken TVs come Monday night, man. It's going to be bad. It'll be real bad. Look, Goff has thrown for 4,100 yards already. So that's one thing that you need to know. Second thing you need to know is Monty isn't there. So Gibbs, yup. Sun God,
Yep.
yup.
Yep.
Jameson, yup.
Yep.
Laporta, yup.
Yep.
The Niners, look, Purdy is on some Purdy shit. So cool. Garendo looks like he's going to be in, so that helps out the whole offense there.
Yep.
King Kong Kittle,
All the
absolutely.
time.
Now Debo had a resurgence last week, but I think a lot of that had to do with him coming out of the backfield and also getting carries and things like that.
Yeah.
So his usage
Because
was
Patrick
definitely up.
Taylor didn't do shit. So yeah, that's
Right.
Debo
Now with
was pretty
Garendo
much the de
back,
facto back. Yeah.
with Garendo back, that nullifies that kind of part of Debo's game. But at the end of the day, Debo's a fucking wide receiver. Act like it. You shouldn't need to be playing like halfback to like get your points and be productive. So that's a whole weird thing there. Honestly, hot takey, I'm sitting Debo and starting Jennings if I was in that
Oh, I would
situation.
definitely start Jennings. I would start Jennings regardless, but yeah,
I
Debo
would sit
might fall
Debo.
back to what he's been doing, and that's almost nothing. So yeah,
I don't want to play that game. I don't want to do, even though I feel like his usage should be crazy, but every week should be kind of that with Debo. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? Like, why have we discussed Debo the way we've had to discuss Debo this year? Because Debo hasn't been Debo. There's something wrong. There's something broken there. So
I don't recall
I'm
any
not
year of his career that it was even a discussion to start.
even a question. Like, hey, look, Falcons are playing Commanders. I'm starting Debo. How? Because I fucking am. That's why. It's like, well, all right, fair enough.
It was never even a question. Now it's like you really have to ponder it. Like just like Tyreek Hill this year. It's like, man, we really got to question you replace Tyreek Hill or not?
And it's crazy because I said the hot takey thing with Hill, but this thing with Debo isn't even a hot take. It's supposed to be nice out. The weather's going to be good. He should be fine, but he hasn't been fine. And I'm not playing that volatile game. Like, there are pivot options, obviously, but this is a Monday night game. Like, you can't really, because I was going to say maybe you can play the game of like I can cut it a little bit to kind of see how I am in my matchup, what I'm really looking to need to have. Am I chasing? Am I just looking? Like you don't have that option here. It's the Monday. You don't have. Jameson is rostered. Sun God is rostered. Jennings is rostered. Garendo is rostered. Tim Patrick, are you really gonna sit down Debo for Tim Patrick? Like, you don't really have an option to wait to pivot mid game. So
it's not really, like let me play him and see if I can get by, and then next week. No, there is no next week. This is the last chance saloon. This is it. This is everything.
Whew. Yeah. So I'll be playing for third here. My friend over here will not be paying for anything. He hasn't actually played since 2 weeks ago, unfortunately.
Nope.
Locked up his position in the draft, and we will be kind of doing that. So I will say we're not doing a show next week, obviously. I don't know if we're going to do the X's next week or not, because the same exact schedule happens to be.
Yeah, I'm probably not. New Year's Eve.
We may just, it wasn't going to be on the Tuesday. It was going to be in like another day. I feel like we should just come back at the regular scheduled time at the beginning of the year, with a bunch of brand new stuff. And what we will do though, I think. No, we'll wait till the end of the playoffs. Actually, I think to the end, like when we do that Patreon show about the whole draft thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that we'll do that. But yeah, it's been fun. We're not done by any stretch. We still got, things to kind of do and talk about. Obviously we're not doing 2 shows a week or anything like that. We'll discuss what our plans are, but I guess we'll see you next time in the X's and O's. Probably what does that end up being here on the calendar? That the 7th? Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, that'd be the 7th of January.
What day? Like what day of the week is that?
Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
Tuesday.
So next week. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So hopefully everyone had a good Christmas. Hopefully you're safe. Happy Hanukkah. You know, all
Merry
those fun
Christmas,
things.
happy holidays to everyone.
Have a safe New Year. Be safe out there. Don't do anything
Yeah.
silly. Enjoy. Hopefully you're
Don't
able
let
to
nobody
celebrate
push
a
your buttons.
championship. Yeah, it's not worth it, man. Too many things happen on the news that you see here, but yeah, if anyone has a nice win or a bad beat they want to share here, feel free to chuck a screenshot of that in the comments. I'd love to see that stuff. Let me suffer with you or mock you overtly. So I can let
that,
my opinion hurt out.
You might touch on something like, hey, touch on one of these shows, and when we get back on, just kind of discuss what did end up happening and finishing out the year, And if you got any other comments or, crazy bad beat that might have happened to you, yeah, you can definitely feel free to throw some comments in there and we can discuss it.
Yeah. Yeah, we may have to have like a retrospect thing. Probably maybe on like that Wednesday. Just like the year that was. Oh God, I don't even want to do it. Okay. Well, goodness gracious. It's funny. Now it's about that time here, boys and girls. Some ducks to be fed. Little quackers here. And who knows? Maybe I'll find a different duck. We'll find a different duck. Maybe we won't feed any ducks anymore. Maybe we'll do something different.
Yeah. Check it out. It's been awesome. Thank you everyone for tuning in.
Yeah. Good year. We will
ducks.
see you next year. Quack quack.